Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and we got quite the mixed martial mindset for you. Not only do we get to go over two UFC cards, we're always joined by John Fitch. Was that a new Smash T-shirt we're looking at right there, John?
Yeah, these guys. The what is it? The KOT, the TKO store, TKO store.
I've heard of the
You can follow
TKO store.
my links. Yeah, I got a link tree thing, and they're on there. But me and a bunch of other fighters, they put together some shirts. They're like print to order shirts, so it's cool. We get a percentage of the sales, but they've come up with some cool designs. This is one of them.
Very
I like
nice,
it.
very nice.
Yeah.
So what, TKO.com/Fitch?
It's yeah, TEKO or something like that.
Well, we'll
You can
definitely
find
check
them
it
on
out.
Instagram too. I've got a link on my link tree and stuff. You can go to my website.
Well, we'll get there in one
Look around
second.
there. You
Let's
can
go
find
there
them.
now.
Or my
JohnFitch.net.
Instagram, John Fitch Smash on Instagram. You can follow the links there.
Let's go to this thing because I want to be able to find the T-shirt thing. Is it this right here, the Boiler Brawn?
Yep, you go to that, and there's a bunch of links under that,
Let's bring Fitch up here.
and then you can find the t-shirts, the TKO.
The TKO shirts. Let's see, where are they? Man, you got so much stuff on here. Man, I see TKO. There you go.
Yep.
So it's like TE as in T-shirt KO. People need to check it out. What do we got here? Let's check out this design. Fitch Smash, folks.
They've got a bunch of the fighters in there too, so you can go and John Howard, I think, and yeah, they've got a bunch of guys lined up, so it's pretty cool.
Awesome. And guys,
It's kind of sad that like this company has kind of come together and done more than like the UFC or any other promoter has done to try to get like a pool of fighters together in order to draw revenue, you know what I mean, and share back with the athlete.
yeah, because even like affliction sponsorships, I mean, I remember fighters like Josh Barnett complaining all the time. Yeah, they're great in paying me in T-shirts.
Yeah. Usually there's not much. So this is nice.
Very, very cool.
They have a good design team that worked with us, and they came up with a few different designs. I didn't like the first batch, but they came back with some other ones that were pretty cool.
And for those that aren't subscribed to Fitch and Tinkle Smash Everything,
Oh yeah.
I was on the Fight Companion, the watch along with these guys, probably like an hour into it. I caught most of the main card fights, if not all of them. Go over there right now. Thumbs the video up. Only 19 views, guys. Let's subscribe. They got 50 subscribers. I think the Burmis Brigade can at least double that by tomorrow. Can we at least get to 100 and start moving that up so he can start live streaming all over the place and doing more and building that channel?
Well, it would be nice to be able to share our videos, after the fact, or like do other things and release them. Like we can live stream them, but yeah, it's we don't have enough followers to monetize or to make videos longer than 15 minutes. It's just a headache.
So go over there right now, hit the subscribe button. No big deal. Remember, we are on thegruelingtruth.com after this audio version. So every week you can find the audio version of Mixed Martial Mindset over here, as well as John Fitch Knows Nothing, which is available here and at Podbean. You did a quarantine special this week, John?
Yeah, I did a show. Well, I'm doing shows every Sunday now at 7. That's just going to be John Fitch Knows Nothing is when we're going to do it. I may sprinkle some, I may sprinkle a little John Fitch Knows Nothing here and there out into the world when I have a free moment, or if I have a guest who can't make my normal time, whatever. But every Sunday at 7, left coast, I will be doing a live stream. And I announced Sunday that I will be live streamed on Fight TV.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Now, is that the motocross thing?
Well, no, it'll be they're on there. The motocross is on that platform, but it's fight.tv. They have they have pro wrestling, they have grappling matches, they have bare knuckle fights, pay-per-views, and a subscription service.
Okay, so now is that going to be part of the subscription service, or are they just going to re-air the JFKN for nothing?
They're gonna stream it live.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Great news.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, my friend.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so that's cool. I mean, No, I'm not getting paid for it or anything. It's a platform they're trying to grow and get more people to.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'll be doing my thing, hopefully to a little bit bigger audience.
Well, that's awesome. I love that. Great news. And
Mhm.
folks, remember, I need your support now more than ever on this. We've now reapplied over 10 days ago. No word back. Doubt we're getting remonetized, guys. So I'm doing it with the GoFundMe. 5, 10, 15 bucks means the world to me. We're about to travel the country. Really need your support now more than ever. Taking off June 1st. Already have a plethora of different areas that I'm going to go to and hopefully not get thrown out of. I'm praying and hoping that they're not going to try to quarantine me because I am from New York. And most of these places it says, oh, if you come in from out of state, you're supposed to quarantine for 14 days. But I'm media. And I'm literally going to be covering the streets and those that are unlocking. So I don't think I should be bound by that, especially because the number of cases in my county was, I think, under 100, maybe 100, and I think one person, maybe three total, had died from this in my county. But oh no, I'm a risk. We're all risks. We're all in trouble during COVID 1984. One of the bright spots, John, we got to watch some fights. We got to watch
Yeah,
some
we gotta
fights.
watch a lot of fights in a week,
Yeah.
and I think I don't know. It's interesting. Are we good to get your opinion on it? I think there's going to be. I don't know. I caught some sentiment of people, um, because we got to see a lot of the numbers
Hmm.
of what was being made, and then there's also the contrast of people hearing everything.
You seem to
Right?
think that that's bringing more people in because it sounds more brutal.
No, no,
They
no, no, no. It may turn a lot of the pro wrestling type fans away because they're used to the show and the pop, and they're not really getting hurt, and they know those people aren't really getting hurt. But like in a fight, like they hear the punch and they see the blood, and they're like, oh yeah, this is a fight. People are getting hurt. These guys are hurting each other. I think it's not as masked.
but
And
on the
when
other
you,
side, you said that you're hoping that this will also make people aware of
Well,
how brutal
because
the sport is.
because people that mask is taken down, so they see it for the violence that's there, and if they can't appreciate that, then it makes you understand like the sacrifice and what they're risking and what they're doing to themselves, and what then you hear about the money, and you're like, oh yeah, that really is really bad. They're doing that for that little bit of money. Oh wow.
I mean, I can't argue with you. When we saw that, Henry Cejudo basically made $350,000 for being the
Justin
champion.
Gaethje made 350 and then 550 another 50 for performance of the night. So he made 400.
Yeah,
Really?
400K.
I mean, him and Tony, like they sold that fight. Like they should have probably made. What it was, the fighters made 12% of the pay per view. Like those two guys themselves could easily split 12%. You know,
Well,
and
what did they
still
say
would
the
have been,
buys were? 7 million, right?
and still would have been underpaid.
Mhm.
You know.
I mean, 7 million buys at the very least in any other country that had it for pay-per-view. You're talking minimum $20. You're talking about in the main places in the United States, $70. And then you're talking about places like in Europe still paying 30 to 40 bucks a pop on that thing. Again, 7 million buys, you got to figure you're definitely in like the $100 million range on pay-per-views minimum. Right? I mean, that makes sense. Does it not? Like, I mean,
It's grotesque. If to these guys, if they don't understand, like it's just
Fitch,
yeah,
I got
like you can
somebody in the
understand. Like
comment section.
I'm sure that Henry Cejudo he understands that. I think he understands that math. I think he's smart enough to know, and he understands like okay, well like I've proven everything. I've made a good enough amount of money to like get started on the second half of my life and second career.
Well, his manager came out and
He's
said
young
he was
enough
going to
to
fight this
start
summer.
another career. He's young enough to start a new career and still, figure it out and be profitable before he's 40.
Hmm.
So like, I mean, he's in a good position to like just be like, yeah, I'm not going to get used anymore.
Well, you know
It's like
what?
a prostitute who finally puts enough money in the mattress and she can move out of town and not be a prostitute anymore. She's like, you know what? I don't have to let them do this to me anymore.
So the Jamie Lee Curtis character in Trading Places. I don't know. So Hudo's manager is saying that he might fight this summer. He expects him to fight this summer, which is a possibility.
Of course, the manager doesn't make any more money. The manager stops getting paid. They're not managers; they're brokers.
Yeah,
they're brokers to the promoter. They work for the promoter now. It's just the way it is.
Hard to disagree, John. So let's do fights and then let's do COVID 1984. Let's not get too heavy. Let's get into the heavy fists. Starting with the Wednesday fight card. I don't know. Did you catch any of the prelims?
A little bit. I saw Wednesday was Matt Brown, right?
No. The prelims, Matt Brown was the header on the Overeem Saturday. Yeah, on the prelims. They didn't even, because this was an all ESPN Plus card, they didn't even divvy it up. They just called it the fight card on Teixeira. They kind of did, but it all played in one. Chase Sherman, he's just coming back to the UFC. They put him in the under organizations that they had him on Fight Pass. He's a Contender Series guy. Isaac Villanueva, he put up a really good fight for being so undersized. I mean, apparently this guy...
I didn't catch until Dauber and Hernandez.
Yeah, which I can't wait to talk about. I like Dober. And Hernandez, decent fighter, but he's kind of wild and he's cocky, and especially against seasoned guys, you go out there and you don't put them away in the first, there's a good chance you're getting put away in the second. Brian Kelleher, Hunter Azure, great fight. TKO by Kelleher. Kelleher was getting worked over in the first round quite a bit and came back, showed he was gritty, showed he was tough, and knocked out Azure. I mean, TKO, but it was nice. I forget who he called out, but he made a good call out. I remember liking what he had to say afterwards. Don't really remember much about the Fer Benitez fight, probably because it was a 3-round decision. This was a fight I didn't need to see. Sarah Moras, Sajara Eubanks, another 3-round decision where Morris, I mean, at 3-1, it was, and 4-1 the other way. I mean, she just got destroyed the entire fight. Michael Johnson comes in there again, trying to stay in the UFC on a big downslide, and Thiago Moses subs him in the second round. I believe it was
what happened with Johnson? He just fell off. Huh?
I feel like, first of all, he shouldn't be fighting at 145. He should be fighting at 155. He looks so gaunt. He looked more gaunt than Edson Barboza. We had that discussion on your broadcast. And I saw him in person at the PFL Championships, not this January, but the January before. And I saw Usman in person, right? And I was sitting next to Renzo Gracie. And the only guy that looked unhealthy to me was Michael Johnson. Like, I don't know what else to say. I just looked at Michael, and I followed him since the Ultimate Fighter. I remember that season, and he did okay on the Ultimate Fighter. He didn't do great. I remember he talked to Dana White, and he said, I want to be the guy, and I want to be Mike Tyson of this thing, and all these things. And he made himself into a top 10 155er. But then as soon as it started going wrong for him, and he went to 145, had a little success, I feel like he bought into that weight class, and it was never the weight class for him. I think he's depleted. I think if he's going to come back, he needs to fight at 155 again. And if the UFC is going to give him a shot, they should give him a shot there. Arlovsky, not a very eventful fight, but again, he looked really fit. He has, his boxing still looked crisp, and he's beating heavyweights.
Yeah.
He's beating heavyweights as the underdog. Almost 20 years after his career started.
Yeah, he's still doing him and Overeem, man, still getting it done.
Still, yeah, exactly. It's the rise of the veterans, man. Like Teixeira too. We'll get into that.
Well, it's because this next generation's so soy. They have low testosterone.
It's the soy generation, John.
If they're under 35, they're probably pumping full of soy.
Just full soy.
Full soy.
Ricky Simone, Ray Borg. Simone. I remember this was a pretty good fight, and I kind of had it as a pick'em. It could have been Borg or Simone. I'm wondering if that ended in a split decision. It might have. It was actually a pretty exciting bantamweight bout. Then we get to Dober Hernandez.
Dober's a little bulldog, huh?
Love Dober. Dober's tried to break into that top 15 several times. He never
I
got a
think
push by the UFC.
I don't know if I've seen him fight before.
Dude, he's been
He
fighting
looked
for the
kind of
UFC.
familiar.
Let's try type in Drew Dober because he's got to have 15 fights in the UFC. That's my guess. Is 15 fights. Let's see. Dober, and we do it live. Thumbs the video up, subscribe, and share if you're new, guys. So
Get
let's
to it.
see. Ultimate Fighter 2013. Guy's been fighting in the UFC 7 years. We're not even going to count any of his Ultimate Fighter fights because they're not real other than this one right here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes, that was his 15th fight minus the fights on the Ultimate Fighter. So been around a 7-year veteran. He's someone I've really liked watching fight. I really have. He's never taken out too big of competition, but he does have wins over guys like Varner, over Josh Berkman. Camacho's okay. John Tuck, another veteran. And now Alex Hernandez. I say you give him a guy in the 10 to 15 range and see what he can do. He's not getting any younger. I mean, how old is this kid? He's got to be like in his 30s. I know he's got a baby face, but what is he? Yeah, he's 31. And you know as well as anybody, time waits for no man, and not everybody does it, John, until they're 42 years old like yourself. So, Dober, come on, let's give him some.
Some people are just pussies, I guess.
What's that?
Some people are pussies.
Well, if we're going to talk about people getting into the age range, I think Rothwell's about 38.
If they would pay me, but
yeah, I mean, hey, would you put him on a card in July, folks? Come on, put him on the July. Let him beat up Michael Venom Page. That's what I want to see, John. I want to see you take down Michael Venom and Page, put him into the goddamn fucking cage.
If I have to wait too much longer, I might have to fight at light heavyweight.
Really? I hit 194 on the scale today, Fitch. It's been a while. I might get down.
217 today. 217.
217, huh? Light heavyweight. Jesus. Now
I've been lifting, so I'm pretty lean.
So what do you think? Yeah, but do you think you could do 185 and compete?
I don't know, man.
They are pretty big, those 185ers, bro. They're not small. I mean, even Lima at 170 is a pretty big fucking dude. He's a big guy. I mean, I've been around Lima a couple times, and when you're next to him, you're like, oh man, this is a pretty giant motherfucker.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's tall, long.
Rothwell, St. Preux. I thought St. Preux looked like a real heavyweight. I thought it took him a little while to get going. First round was a little uneventful, but by the third round, they were doing it.
I wrote about this in my newsletter. I'll probably send it out tomorrow. So if you sign up at johnfish.net, you can get that newsletter. But I talk about this fight and how it was kind of an uneventful fight. If it was a normal night with a normal crowd, we probably wouldn't talk that much about it. But the fact that you could hear everything, the sound was stripped away, and you could hear just a big man unloading on each other. You can hear him breathing heavy. It made it more compelling and more interesting of a fight, I think.
I like both of them, not only because they're big guys, but you got the Von Fluke choke, Ovince St. Preux, and then you got Big Ben Rothwell with that crazy, just like you've seen him do it, where he takes the guy from the head and chokes him like this. You almost never see a plum clinch choke successfully on another human being, and I think Rothwell's gotten it twice. There are some interesting moments in this fight. I gave it to Rothwell as well. Do you think St. Preux fights again at heavyweight?
I mean, if I could fight at heavyweight, I would fight at heavyweight. Like Ben Rothwell said it himself. Guys are moving up because it's easier. It is easier. The guys hit harder, but you take that risk. They get tired faster. So, if you can not get hit and get the guy tired, there's just more money. Heavyweights make more money. The bigger you are, the easier it is to gain notoriety. The easier it is to make more money. I wish that would be a great. If there's any MMA fans that are economists out there, good with numbers. I'd love to see what the average pay is per weight class. What weight classes, tend to make more money. I'm willing to bet that, the 125, 135, 145, they don't really make that much compared to 170, 85, 205, and then heavyweight probably makes the most like per minute that they actually fight.
Well, probably right. You're probably right on the per minute
Per
if you were to
minute,
go that
but
route.
per round, per fight,
But the
per
problem is with
contract.
that, I feel like also you're coming from a smaller pool because you've only get, I mean, if you get 2 heavyweight fights on a card, that's rare, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
you don't get any. I'd say 155 and 170, in my opinion, those are probably the highest paid on average, but they also have, I would say, the most fights and the biggest talent pools. You look at 155. You got the McGregor draw out of 145. You got the Khabib draw that's demanding a little bit more money. You look at 170. Even Covington bitched about his money. Usman, Woodley.
12%.
What's that?
12%. Should all be
Still
bitching
low,
about their money.
but probably
Should all
massive
be
compared to
bitching.
the rest of the guys. That's my point. Like, I would say that since that's such an active division, and I would assume more fight bonuses usually go out there. Even the 205ers, you don't see many of those fights anymore. How many light heavyweight fights you see these days? I don't know that we saw one this in either of these two cards. Were there any 205ers? So far, I haven't seen one.
It was what's Glover?
Yeah, that was it. That was the 205
yeah.
fight. That's it. Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah, it used to be. Yeah, man, that is true. Back in Pride days, man, it was all heavyweights and 205ers.
yeah, it's not anymore at all. Like again, when have I seen somebody? Dominic Reyes hasn't fought since he fought Jones. Thiago Santos, who's really just a souped-up 185er, hasn't fought since he fought John Jones. Uzdemir, when was the last time Uzdemir fought? I think pre-2020. I'm pretty sure right before the end of the year. And I like watching him fight as well. I'm trying to think who else is in that division. I'd say it's almost the death of. You don't see a lot of 185ers even, right? I get it. Adesanya's the thing, but like, how often is Paulo Costo fighting? Like 185 is another division. How often does Robert Whitaker fight? He's injured all the time. Even Calvin Gastelum, maybe 2-3 times a year. It feels like the 155 to 170 pool is probably the most active. And, they're throwing in the lighter weight classes, which is I'm fine with, especially when it's exciting. But I want to see more 205ers. Speaking of 205, this fight, my God.
Pay them more. Maybe if they paid them more, there would be more of them.
What do you mean? You don't like that Anthony Smith had his teeth knocked out by the 4th round, saying that they were loose?
Maybe that's part of it too. Maybe I mean, that can maybe designed too by the company. Maybe there's less 205 pounders in the UFC because they make too much money. Let's have less 205 pounders fight. We already have John Jones. We only need him to fight this many times a year. We make money off of him. If the other light heavyweights fight more often, we have to pay them more. Let's just use guys who we pay less. So we'll use fill it in, sprinkle it with some lightweights, some girls fights,
which is fine. You know what? The women's fight we saw with Gedalia and Angela Hill, that was a pretty exciting banger.
Oh yeah, I know, and they're good, but like they'll those girls make considerably less money than what.
Well, let's look at it.
The male counterparts would.
I'm now interested in what the top light heavyweights are, who they are. Reyes, Santos, Jan, who I think deserves a shot. Corey Anderson, we saw get knocked out. Gustafsson hasn't fought in forever. I'll be honest. I don't know that maybe I've seen Alexander Rakic fight once. Krylov is number 10. Come on. Nikita Krylov is a guy that, trades wins and losses all the time. And he's ahead of Walker? Yeesh. Misha Serkinov, he's kind of tough, but I mean, for him to be 12th, Ryan Spann is 14. I mean, Hua is 15 after all these years. Like, that's a pretty weak division compared to a couple others. And where's the heavyweights? Cormier, Ngannou, Blades, Santos, Lewis, Rosenstrike, Volkov, Overeem, Harris. Then it goes to Abakhmedov, Ivanov. I don't know if I've ever seen Augusto Sakai fight. Sergey Pavlovich. And then they've got Verdum 15 coming off a loss. They haven't updated that yet. That's kind of odd. Like, let's kick him out of there. Not a lot of names there. Not a lot of draw. Whereas the other ones have it. What was your opinion of the Anthony Smith Glover Teixeira fight? Like, do you think they should have thrown the towel in?
I didn't catch. I only saw the beginning, so I
Okay.
didn't get to see like the third and fourth and fifth
Hmm.
because I had to step out for a minute. And I did catch some replays, and the one that I saw was him handing his teeth to the ref. And to me, if I'm a referee and a guy is so mentally out of it that like he's so concerned he's concerned about his teeth. If I don't get me, he's thinking to himself, not, oh, I need to fight and win this fight. He's thinking to himself, I need to get my teeth to the ref so I don't lose them and I can get them put back in. His mind's not in the fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Well,
that's game over. Ref, it's done. It's done. He's getting hit and like, here are my teeth. Here's my teeth.
there was some brutal moments, man. Like the other
Hold my
thing is
teeth.
like
That's
first round was competitive. Second round you could argue okay. Third round, man, like Glover put it on him hard. There were some moments where I'm like, you need to call this fight. The fourth round, again, I can't believe he made it through, and you still could have called the fight in a bunch of moments, and then it doesn't get called until a KO TKO that was unnecessary in the fifth. I don't even think they should have let him out there. But I noticed that you posted the clip of Teixeira having him pinned up against the cage, beating the shit out of him, apologizing to him, saying, "I'm sorry, man," and Smith acknowledging, "No, I get it."
no, yeah. He's like, sorry, man.
I
Like,
mean,
what?
damn.
He's like, I'm sorry, part of the job. And he's like, yeah, it is what it is. But no, I mean, like, yeah, I've had moments where you're just beating on a guy and he's not answering anything back, but he's defending enough where the ref just won't stop it, and you just like elbowing and elbowing and elbowing, and you're like, ref, come on, like, I mean, I know you want a flurry or whatever, but this guy's done. Like it's happened to me 3 or 4 times, and their faces afterwards are just swollen up. They're beat. Like they didn't really need to get that beat up, and they weren't even as bad. The teeth didn't have teeth falling out.
Yeah, and again, who's paying for that? Do they give you the dental in the UFC? Will they replace those teeth for
And
you?
any injury that happened in the fight, yeah, they should be covered by the insurance
Okay,
for
all
that
right,
event.
fair enough.
Hopefully, yeah, they don't screw them, and it's like they oh well, that was a pre-existing condition.
Your teeth were falling out anyway. Sorry, it's $4,000 a
Send
tooth,
us your
bro.
X-rays from before the fight. Or like, oh, we noticed some cracks. Sorry.
So I mean, maybe they haven't updated it, but Teixeira should be number 4 at this point. He should obviously overtake Smith's spot. I don't have a problem with him leaping over any of the other guys. You know, Anderson's coming off a loss. Ozdemir hasn't fought in a while. Gustafsson hasn't fought in a while. So even I would even make it Jan number 1. Reyes, although he beat Jones, man, that's tough. He did beat Jones. So maybe Reyes is number 1, Jan 2, and then bring Glover all the way up to number 3 because Thiago Santos hasn't fought in a year and a half. I don't even know how he's still on the rankings. Like, doesn't make any sense to me, but then again, none of this makes sense to me other than money, right, and power. So,
It's a show. It's pro wrestling. Come on.
so yeah, I mean, again, with that Anthony Smith fight, that was tough to watch. I'm not gonna lie, and I feel like the third round they could have called it. Felder and Cormier got in a big fight over it. In the commenting, at the end of the fight, basically Felder says, "No, my corner better not throw in the towel. I want to fight until I'm done, totally done. I want that shot." And Cormier is like, it's going to shorten your career, and it was just, I think the perspective of a guy like Cormier, who's 40 plus, done it all, gotten his belts, and the perspective of a guy who's Felder, a company man, up and comer in his 30s, still hasn't gotten his title shot and wants it bad, And I think they're going to butt heads on that perspective. Although I agree with Daniel on this one for sure. All right,
Yeah, you
let's
gotta
hit.
circle around. Like if you're not fighting back, you're not doing anything back. You're just taking damage. You're probably not going to turn it around, and just cut your losses, circle back around, make corrections, and you're going to be doing better off if you fix things.
I'm with you. All right, so how many of the prelims here on Saturday did you catch? You catch them all or no?
Not all of them. I think I started at Brown.
Gotcha.
Matt Brown, I think, was the first one. Unfortunately, he did not win that fight. He was looking great up until he got binked. And yeah, man, it was over quick.
It was over quick. He did almost knock his opponent out. Maybe his
Yeah.
opponent was a little starstruck, but he definitely caught him a couple times, had him up against the cage. Looks like he was going to get the finish. But to go through the rest of it, Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira, he subs Dontel Miles. I think it was some kind of a choke. I think he might have even knocked him out. Oh, no, he did tap. He did tap. I watched him tap. Courtney Casey dominated this fight end quickly. She looked really, really good, but I don't know what the skill level of Barella is. I don't think I've ever seen her fight. Nate Landwehr versus Darren Elkins. Kind of a controversial decision, in my opinion. A lot of people had Elkins winning that fight, but he was a bloodbath. That is where all that spatter of Jackson Pollock came from. Have you seen his face in this?
I saw the pictures of him bleeding, and then there was the canvas was just sprinkled with blood everywhere, and it was crazy because it wasn't like pooled blood. It was flick splattered. I was like, why is UFC's mat polka dotted?
I mean, I watched it
happen. I was like, oh yeah, it was that guy with the bloody face.
Yes, he kept getting peppered, and even when he wasn't getting peppered, he was getting kicked, and it was just spraying off him.
Can you get a close up of the opponent's hairline?
Hold on.
Fine. That was the second most fascinating thing about that fight.
Oh, you didn't like that they were going woo, like they were both like screaming throughout the thing, and man, I wish I mean, blood was everywhere coming off of Elkins. His face, that doesn't even do it justice. Like, I'll type in Darren Elkins bloody.
The hairline of that guy. Who's the guy who won? The less bloody guy.
Mir something. Mir. Let's see what his name is. Oh, Landwehr. Nate Landwehr. You like that, huh? You like it's crisp.
That's impressive. That's an impressive comb over. Like that
reminds me of like a Alex Jones hairline before he really started doing it and growing the beard.
Yeah, it's really it's like all the way back.
It's like, I don't know. I'm lucky. I don't want to screw myself anymore. Yeah, I'm hoping I keep my hair. I'm lucky. Giga Chikadose, Erwin Rivera. Erwin Rivera was a full weight class below this guy, by far. And he still came out swinging, man. He went to decision. He could have got knocked out many times. He was lunging to try to get in there. You know, he
ate a couple of knees, didn't you? I think
quite a few knees.
I think I saw some videos up on the social medias showing him eating knees.
He kept trying to lunge in, and then Giga was timing him really well, you know, and he was catching, and he was so much taller.
Big long
too.
Guy.
Yeah. Kevin Holland destroyed Anthony Hernandez really, really quickly, KO'd him. Kevin Holland, you know, did exactly what he needed to do to try to get in the ranks. Dana and him smiled at one another afterwards, talked a bit. I'm sure they're going to try to give this guy a top 15 at middleweight and see if he can break through. I think that's the next thing. Somebody that he measures up well against. Matt Brown, exciting fight. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking, really. Does he fight again? Should he fight again, John?
I mean, like, you know, as long as people around him are supportive and think his cognitive abilities have not slipped in any way, I think, you know, if he listens to those people and they're like, you know, you're okay to keep doing what you love and making the money you're making. But yeah, if he's starting to stutter or lose his keys while he's holding them, maybe somebody who cares about him should tell him not to do it.
Tough one. Song Young Dong versus Marlon Vera, another decision, 3-rounder. Gave it to Yadong and a split decision. I had Vera. I specifically remember.
Yeah, I did too. I put up a little post on my Instagram today for my Monday fight recap, and I thought all 4 of these main card fights, other than the overeem fight, these decision fights. I thought thought the other person was winning.
Mm-hmm. I had Anders and Jocko. I mean, Anders should have won that fight. I can't believe it was another split. and they gave it to
I thought
Jocko.
he was. I mean, it was like they're definitely coin toss type fights, all of them.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was leaning towards the other guy.
I agree. I think that we both had exactly. We had
Mhm.
Barboza
He
in the
was
Ige fight.
he was moving. He was moving forward. Barboza landed a ton of leg kicks. That guy's leg was eaten up.
Had a hematoma on his
They're
leg.
both, but he didn't like destroy him. So like, and I thought Ige was landing a lot of good combinations.
It's
So
true.
I mean, I get it.
It's true. I was shocked by it, and I was actually rooting for Ige. I liked him. That was a good fight. That was exciting.
Hmm.
Nobody went down. I thought the Gedalia Hill fight was exciting as well. Really
Yeah, I
shocked
enjoyed it.
because that was a unanimous decision, was it not?
I think so.
Yeah, which also surprised me.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I thought Angela Hill had done a lot in that fight to win, and was looking good to step up to another big fight.
Yeah, there was a couple times Gedalia looked pretty rocked and out of it. When Hill added the leg kicks to her game and then the front kicks to keep a little more distance and mix it up, she looked so much better.
Yep.
I really was surprised they gave it to Gedalia. I was kind of disappointed. And I thought Angela Hill was going to lose that fight. I still think she won it. Then we get to Reem and Harris comes in and puts
Oh,
it on
man.
Alistair. And you're like,
Wow.
damn. And
I thought it
Alistair
was
finds
over
a way
for
to
a second.
survive, John.
Alistair just kept moving. He's a walking Hall of Famer. Alistair Overeem is. He's been fighting 20 years, kickboxing, MMA, all over the world. This guy is like, he's one of the greatest, honestly.
He really is one
I
of the
mean,
greatest.
even though like he's lost a couple here and there, like in the last, what is he, two fights skid?
I don't even know that if he was, because he might have been a 2-fight skid. Because remember, we went through the fights that he had been in, and he had that
'Cause he
really
lost, he
long
had his face
string.
exploded by Rosenstrike.
Yep.
And then did he get knocked out by Nagano?
I think it was Ngannou, then Rosenstrike. You're right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Ngannou got him, and he had a big win before that. I think we were talking about it. He was 2-3 in his last 5 fights, but he had been on a big run. Let's Overeem it. Overeem.
Yeah, so I mean that's man. He's made a ton of money.
You know, he didn't
Right?
lose
Like
2 in a row.
you don't he just you don't hear much from him other than he just gets his shit done and
See,
right? He just works.
he had gone on that run of Struve, Nelson, Dos Santos, Arlovsky, got the title fight, or maybe it wasn't the title fight because I don't think Stipe had the title at that point. Loses to Stipe, then beats Hunt and Verdum. Then his only 2-loss record in a row was Ngannou and Blades, both top guys still, younger. Then he beats Pavlovich, Olenek, loses to Rosenstruck by losing his face, but he was winning that fight. 10 seconds happen differently. He's on a 4-fight win streak at this point. If he's able to not get knocked into another universe and survive like he did with Walt Harris, I mean, he's on another streak. And we just showed you how weak the heavyweight division is.
Yeah.
He's a win away from a championship fight. Like, if he can beat a Derek Lewis, he's in. If he can beat a Curtis Blades, he's in. I don't think he wants to fight Ngannou again, because who wants to fight Ngannou again? But,
Yep.
Eesh. All right, John. Now to the meat and potatoes, now that we've gotten from the mixed martial part and into the mindset. Your opinion. Bars in inner tubes. People walking around. I don't want to play this because they'll
if I
get
want to
me.
drink in an inner tube unless I'm floating down the river.
Thank you. Is this not the most ridiculous Orwellian bullshit?
It's just oh man, I don't know. I'm surprised the Me Too people didn't come up with this.
Well, dude, it's just like, all right, I can go into a bar, which is going to be a closed area anyway. My mouth is open. I'll be ordering drinks.
Yeah, it's stupid. I mean, they're outside. I don't know. It's just dumb.
The whole
dumb.
thing is
I mean,
beyond
just
bizarre.
wear your mask, try to social distance a little bit, try to be a little bit safe. I mean, Sweden has not been quarantining. They've told people to social distance and wear the masks, and like they're okay. They're doing okay. Let's do that.
Meanwhile, in New York, man,
I miss happy hour. I miss happy hour.
I miss it all. And that's why I'm taking this trip, man. You know, that's
People
why.
can join me for happy hour on Rockfin on Thursdays. I host my own happy hour, free on Rockfin.
What time is that, John?
Um, it's at 4 o'clock on the left coast.
So 7 p.m. over
I'm
here.
not sure what bottle I'm gonna get yet. I'll figure out.
Just-
No, it's yeah, 7 your time.
Boom. So there it is. Rockfin.com/Fitch, cauliflower and cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna want to check that out. I miss, like again today, my big day today, John, of getting out for this afternoon is I went and I bought some kombucha over at the Walgreens,
Ooh, wow.
and the girl there is kind of cute, and we got to talk for about 90 seconds about how we hate wearing these fucking masks and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like you don't know what girls' teeth situation is going to be like now with the masks.
I'd seen her pre-mask.
You thought it was hard to tell what was going on with all the makeup stuff going on. Now they got the makeup stuff and a mask.
Yeah, but you know what? I've always been a firm believer in, and I'm sure I'm going to get fucking all sorts of misogynistic hate for this, but
you're such a pig.
I know. Until you get them naked, you really don't know what the overall game plan is. Unless you've been on the hot body like beach with them. I'm in the north anyway. Unless I'm going on a trip, I'm not seeing that, or I'm hitting an Instagram. I'm much more up close, personal. Meet you, okay, whatever. I don't have an Instagram myself. I don't Facebook stalk people. Maybe I should. I don't know. But I have had.
You got to get the date. You got to get the gym date.
Was that an app?
Going. No. It's just a thing.
Yeah. Well, I can't go to a gym, John.
To the gym.
I get it. Listen, man.
Get her in her spandex.
You know what? We're gonna do it live. I'm gonna show people how abysmal my Tinder selection is live here, John. Let's see if we can get it live. Like people are like, "Oh, Jason, you're terrible online. You should be able to score something." Let me show you what my choices are. Okay, so we have Laura here at 37. I know it looks okay there. There's no other pictures. There's no bio. Who knows? No. Okay, so we have Stephanie here. She's obviously face picture, breast and face. What does that mean? This girl's 80 pounds overweight. No. Okay. Sophie, 39, back picture, not a real profile, nothing in there. Let's swipe left on that one. Jackie, she's 22, also face pictures because she's 40 to 50 pounds overweight. I'm not trying to blast you, Jackie. I understand. Great. That's it. We're done. That's who I had the chance of. I got four swipes and 2 real profiles, both of which, listen, guys, I'm not.
Wait a minute. Where are you? Where you're trying to get out of New York, though, right?
I got to get on what?
You're trying to get out of New York, right?
Oh, I'm leaving. We're leaving.
Okay, so where are you headed to? You have an idea?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give it to me. Give me the idea.
No. Do you have an idea?
Oh, yeah. So for people that don't know, this is what I'm doing. June 1st, I'm taking off, and I'm going to all the states that I'm considering living in that did not lock down, and also are at least semi-legal on marijuana. Okay. So I'm trying to be practical here.
So you've got a map of states that you're gonna go to and test.
So far, right now, on the short list right here, and we'll see because I may just buy a car and not rent one, and may stay out there a month instead of 2 weeks.
Like a Volkswagen van.
I don't even care what I'm staying in. I plan on staying in hotels, and I'm going to be in each place 2-3 days and then move on. But so far on the list, Boise, Idaho, Dayton, Ohio, or outside. And by the way, I'll never live in these cities. I'm just trying to find a city and then a suburb or a country place to go to. Kansas City, Missouri. Let's see. I'm going to miss something in the middle, aren't I? Kansas City, Missouri's there. I've looked at some places in Kentucky. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to visit there. But definitely going to go to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Fargo, North Dakota. And now I know that's too cold for people, but I'm an upstate New York guy, and I'm already used to the cold.
Okay, so here you go.
Let's hear it.
You're already planning these. You're already going to these places. You know where you're going to be. Right now, because of the lockdown, Tinder is allowing you to have the global access. Mm-hmm. Right? So when you set your destination and whatever you can choose a city. Okay? So now you got to go before. Mm-hmm. You have to start swiping, put in your build your profile to be like, hey, I'm I'm traveling, looking for a new city to live. I'm tired of New York, whatever.
Mhm.
Okay. And then you pick a city and you swipe all the girls that you like in the cities that you're going to visit and check out, and see if you can arrange, for a month down the road, maybe they come out to lunch with you. You
No, I'm
see what's
down with
going
that.
on,
That's
because
good. See,
then you can judge the place you're moving to by the selection of women. So like the sexual market,
mhm.
you get a sneak peek of it, because you could be going to a place that has a ton of hot chicks and very few guys.
Well, everywhere where I've been looking is around a college town also. So Madison, Wisconsin's on there too. I forgot. Madison, Wisconsin's another place I'm going to go check out. Yes.
Yeah, Wisconsin girls are nice.
My point is this. It's not just
Yeah,
because of the dating thing. It's because
it's the
hopefully I
cheese, I
can.
think, man.
What's that?
Land of milk and honey.
Look, I just want a normal life. I want to be able to listen. Yesterday, I walked down the street and I cannot tell you how many people I passed that then masked up because I wasn't masked or just crossed the goddamn street. And it's like, I don't want to live that way. I don't want to live in a place where constant fear and there's no humanity there. At least with the girl at the Walgreens, right? We're a foot away. She's not scared I might touch her. She's annoyed there's a big plastic thing in between us, And that's the mentality here if the bars were open. The bars are not opening here, and no one is going to be in a round robin red thing. The other thing they're not doing is letting everybody know the town is done, that no one's coming back in August. The kids are not. For instance, I was watching MSNBC this morning, and Squawk on the Street, Jim Cramer and some other asshole. They had the Ithaca mayor on, all right? So if you don't know, you should know because you're in the Syracuse area. You might know where Ithaca is, right? You've been there.
Yeah.
So they were talking about specifically Cornell University, Ithaca University, and then 40 miles down the way, Wells University, right? And this guy's been the mayor since 2008. And he's like, listen, we don't have any money. He goes, when I came in here in 2008, we had a deficit of $3.8 million during the Great Recession. He's like, I balanced that. We balanced that in 2 years, and we've been above board ever since. He goes, right now, we are looking at a deficit of $15.9 million in
Wow.
Ithaca. In Ithaca. He's like, if Cornell doesn't come back, that devastates and eviscerates the economy. He goes, if Ithaca doesn't come back, that devastates and eviscerates the economy.
Well, I mean, just the economy in like Lafayette, Indiana, or West Lafayette, where Purdue University is. When the summer comes, that's 50,000 students disappear.
Mm-hmm.
You go from 100 some thousand people in that town to 40 to 60.
And it's even more dramatic in upstate New York. Okay, those state schools. He didn't even talk about Cortland University, but he did talk about Wells. And Wells basically said, if we don't open up in September, we're closing for good. That's it. That's it. If we don't, and it's really in August. So if they don't open in August, that's a whole college that's gone. That is the model. All right. I want to let people know that. That's not just one college. Cuomo's asking for $61.8 billion from the federal government. And this is what the federal government has said to him so far. Who pays for the state schools and the teachers? Nobody. So then how does it work? And then they're encouraging you to stay home anyway and social distance and online learn. Those are full economies throughout the state of New York that would not exist otherwise in places like Brockport, Potsdam, my little town of Oneonta, Ithaca, Cortland, outside of Buffalo and Rochester. You guys think Buffalo and Rochester are happening places? Without the Rochester Institute of Technology or Buffalo University or any of those schools, they are beyond fucked. Okay?
Oh, yeah, I mean, Syracuse only has Syracuse University and hospitals.
That's right. That's right.
There's no fact.
Again,
they got the fifth largest mall in America, I think.
Yeah, the Carousel Mall. Fuck that place.
Yeah, that's it.
Fucking hate that place. I don't think people get it. And this is going to be a microcosm for the rest of the country. They've already gutted the middle class so much.
Oh, sorry.
No, no, no. I
Fall
get it.
asleep over here. No, there was I was seeing that some Jimmy Dore had somebody on there talking about, I can't remember what it is, talking about like the US economy is going to mirror or look more like Brazil's economy soon, where you're going to have the super wealthy elite up at the top and then a super huge demographic of super poor living in the favelas.
They're telling these small business
No more
owners
middle class.
they can't open. All right. They have no scientific basis for this anymore. I have been one of the biggest proponents that this is 100 fucking percent real. Okay. In fact,
What
go ahead.
what are your opinions on the guy who came up with the models?
Which one? Which models are we talking
The
now?
guy who was banging the guy who was banging the
Are you talking
climate
about
change activist.
Neil Ferguson?
Yeah, I
The
think
guy who got
that's the
caught
guy.
with his fucking mistress? I think he's a
Yeah,
piece of shit. Scumbag's gonna scumbag. But
yeah.
at the same time,
But
man,
like that wasn't his thing the basis of why we were on lockdown, because he said he estimated millions of people were going to die.
yeah, he's one of them. And then if you see, look, if you looked at the actual leaked stuff, they were telling you at minimum 140,000, something maybe up to 450. The 140,000 looks like it may actually be real. Like that's real. But then they also said that 40 to 70% of the country would be infected with it. Now, maybe that's real, but then they didn't tell us that out of 40 to 70% of the country that would get infected, say it was 40%, 39% were going to show no symptoms.
Hmm.
or very light symptoms. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
my ex, I talked to her over the weekend. She's still in the city. By the way, she still says every day a truck pulls up and they put bodies in it. Okay.
Wow.
She tested positive for the antibodies. Now she told me she lost her sense of smell and her she had slight fever and she couldn't taste anything for a while. And this was weeks and weeks ago, and I brought it up on air. I know. But at the same time, she's 25. I
No.
think she might have just turned 26.
Hmm.
She's younger. I wasn't worried about her getting sick. I was worried about all this other shit. And
Yeah. Zombie
despite,
riots.
yeah, well, I'm glad the
Well,
military didn't get that crazy.
my
But
friend Leah just moved to New York a week ago or whatever.
yeah, it's
So
nuts.
she's out in Central Park, and people are out. No masks. She was at a neighborhood or rooftop barbecue. People are just hanging out.
Hmm. Yeah, because even they don't want to do it.
Doesn't seem like anybody's taking it seriously.
Well, not seriously on that level, but then as soon as you try to open your business up, they don't let you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And as soon as you try to take to the streets, they don't want you there. And as soon as Cuomo says, "Oh, we're going to open up the beaches at half capacity," De Blasio comes in and says, "Not city beaches. Not city beaches. No city beaches." Look, what we should be worried about is
People
how we treat
everywhere
this
on the
thing.
beaches.
Yeah, they're gross anyway. But look, there's a new woman out there who's a doctor. I think it's at Temple, Texas. It's going around. She gives a great speech about the real numbers and the real treatments and how pharmacists were basically questioning her prescribing certain things and demanding to know what the diagnosis was. So instead of giving them the COVID diagnosis, because they wouldn't prescribe the pills of hydroxychloroquine, if they said it was for that, she was saying hypertension. And then she was saying, look, I'm giving my patients 2 shots of antibiotics, and I've had a 100% success rate with that and hydroxychloroquine. She says 100%, all right, in her area of Texas. This really needs to be about me saying, I want to be treated the way I want to be treated. If I want hydroxychloroquine and I test positive, I get it, period. Not some fucking doctor has to give it to me. And John, I got to tell you, I've been trying to see a doctor just to get an exam so I can get a referral so I can get another referral for a blood test. Now, this is a blood draw test. This is literally a test that, if you read all the studies, it's better than the other blood tests that they offer for this certain condition that I think I may have, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a primary.
Yeah.
No one will even see me. John, I've had to
The
go
whole
to
medical
hold.
system is broken. The whole system is broken. We have no ownership over our own health and how we treat ourselves. And and the government paying for it isn't going to change that.
Thank
You
you.
know, Like,
No, it's going to make it worse.
You know, it's not going to make it work better just because the price change. I think we need to restructure exactly what we're trying to do here and give some authority to the individual. This is America. It's America. I thought it was America. Damn it. We should have authority over our own bodies, our own medical procedures.
I just thought if there's a blood test for something, I should be able to go see a fucking physician, have them draw the blood, and send it into the lab. You should be able to
go in and pay for it, and it's like, oh no, it's not covered by your whatever. No, you should be able to go in, pay cash for the service you want, and get the service done.
That's all I've been trying to do. I can't even get a number for a doctor that will see me so that maybe I can get that done. I call fucking. I don't even want to tell you how upset I am, but it's ridiculous. And another reason I need to jump state from New York. I guess we'll wrap it up right around there. The Weight Cut Bible by John Fitch is available right now on Amazon.
Unfat yourself.
That's right. That's how you're going to cut from 217 to 170, right? And fight in those cards.
Get on the meal plan that's in there, and I will definitely not. I'm lean. I've just been lifting tons and not doing any cardio.
You are looking big. And remember, Fitch and Tinkle smash everything.
Beefy. Yep. Boomer and Toots. That'll be tomorrow at 3.
And that's on the Rockfin. Remember,
that's
I'm also on Rockfin.
That's premium.
Oh, you're going premium with that one, huh? That's the premium stuff?
Premium content.
So you hear that, guys? If you're a premium subscriber to me, you get all of John Fitch's content on Super Tuesday. Super Tuesday, myself, Slow News Day, you, Funky Ben Askren, all new material, all exclusive material over at Rockfin. And remember, I go free tomorrow at noon. So I'm actually free. Make sure to sign up and then follow me. And if you do that and you want to just check out some free John Fitch content, there's plenty of that here. Cauliflower and cocktails. Choke them fast. If you've ever wanted to learn how to choke somebody quickly and unconscious, John Fitch is your man.
Ninja choke.
And I just want to remind people, I'm a documentary filmmaker. I'm not bullshitting here. If you've never seen my film, Shade the Motion Picture, I know it's really hip to go after Bill Gates right now. I have a large section on Bill Gates on that one. I've been exposing him for well over a decade. If you want to know what Bill Gates is into, how he's into weather modification, how he's into eugenics, vaccines, population control, it's all from his own words. You want to see what he was really invested in? You want to see why he really went in that direction? Shade the Motion Picture is for you. Plus, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, a decade old. You won't believe how many of those things, it's just ancient history now. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just, oh yeah, that totally happened. So please check them out along with Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies. Still waiting on that Wired article. I'm sure they're going to bash me pretty hard in it, but that's okay. 15th anniversary of Loose Change on the horizon. And guys, $5, $10, $15, it means the world to me. Like I told Fitch, I'm going across the country. I'm going to need your support. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to show you what the rest of the country looks like and show you that not everybody's locked down like he is in California and I am in New York. You know, there are some people that are actually able to go to a bar. All right, able to talk to a girl.
People out in Wisconsin are going to bars.
They're going to bars. I can buy somebody a shot and ask them their name in a bar.
Place in Germany where you can get a coffee outside, sit down and put on a hat with a fanoodle on it and keep your boundaries.
I think that's kind of ridiculous. I'm never doing this.
A noodle hat.
It's never happening. So, guys, remember, thegruelingtruth.com. That's where you can find the audio version of this podcast if you missed any of it and you want to share. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you on the flip side.
Laters.